Good morning, guys, from me and the amazing, famous Nelson. Got a second name, Nelson Mandela. Can't give him a second name. Kept his old name from his previous owners. We've had him now for almost 6 weeks. How time flies. Speaking of time flying, we are now firmly into the second week after the new year, right? And it's kind of gone fast. Morning, mate. You okay? And it kind of gone slow at the same time. Morning. Kid there riding his Christmas bike, maybe. I remember getting one when I was younger. So, yeah, it's blinking, you've missed it, right? But at the same time, you might already be looking at the scales thinking, yeah, it's not moving. And it's like, well, we're 12 days in, that sort of thing. And it does remind me of some of the things that I'm going to speak about in today's video, which is with regards to breakfast. But it does remind me of what it is that we want and what we really want, because they can be quite different, right? So we can want a quick result, but we can also want a sustainable one, and it's a balance between the two. The word balance can be used in so many ways, including getting out of the all or nothing mindset with regards to exercise, weight loss, nutrition, habits, and physique. Because to get to our highest goals, then we do need to look at what success would look like at the end of the process, which involves not having these problems, to be honest. So that said, certainty is key. Small steps provide that certainty, and as they add up, we then get the result. After only 2 to 3 weeks, it's remarkable how one of my mates, Fraser Cottrell, he posted something about business and about hammering one thing really well versus doing lots and lots of different things frantically. And it's a little bit like fundamentals of habits, nutrition, exercise. Like if we consciously, consistently do the fundamentals, then the results do show. So consistency is the key. It's simple things like drinking the water, right? Anyway, breakfast. Should I have breakfast or not? It's a great question, and it's something which I can fully appreciate is a gap in someone's knowledge. Because let's say, and to generalize, in the past when I used to coach in the women's program, they used to, again, generally speaking, they'd focus on diet, and guys tend to focus on exercise. Now, as soon as I say that, right, it's not always true. Sometimes it's very much not true, but we are wonderfully different, which brings me to my point. Breakfast, right? In or out? Yes or no? Right or wrong? Well, you probably kind of know where this is going. So let's be specific. If I didn't have breakfast and I'm boring, I like things at work, it's one of my fundamental pillars, it's why I do what I do, because as long as it works, I'm in. Again, it's probably one of the attractive prospects of getting my help, in the sense that it's part of who I am. Like sustainability and consistency, I can't even explain it. It's just like, if it works, I'm in, right? If the plane flies, I'm getting on it. Simple, simple, simple. It means I can live my best life. Anyway, I have the same breakfast every morning. All right, pretty much same time. Gives me energy, keeps me full, keeps me away from temptation, distraction, gives me one less thing to think about. But I'm not going to be like, you should eat breakfast. That's going completely away from the point of everything that I believe, which is, we're not here to be told what to do. Children, gee whiz, want to be, um, the goal is to have these things ticked off and to be able to pat ourselves on the back when I'm bringing a client towards the back end of the program and you're like, this has been amazing. I'm like, yeah, because you've made it amazing, right? Well done to you. Like, I'm quick to make sure that that is obvious because it's true. One moment. Yeah. Bag of poo in the bin, responsible dog owner, yada, yada, yada. So if I didn't have breakfast, might affect my energy, might affect my mood, might affect my presence, might affect the ease at which I'm 8,000 steps down at the moment to walk Emma to work. And then that might have a negative effect on my habits. Because I do hear people that Nelson, I do hear people that, they skip breakfast for a given period. It then has a knock-on effect. Then you don't feel great, and then, something happens, and then it's like, well, what do I do? So if we look at the long-term goal, which is to have something that we stick to, is it possible to get in the best shape of our life and have a nutritious, healthy breakfast every day and be happy with that? Yeah. Is that what you want? If the answer is a firm yes, then I would encourage you to explore that. If you want to do, intermittent fasting, if you find that you've got more mental clarity, regulated blood sugar, and like it just fits in for your lifestyle, and you're all right having breakfast at lunch, because whenever your breakfast is whenever you break your fast. So if you have your first meal at 1, like, I mean, first and foremost, like, well done, I'll give you a Blue Peter badge. Like, if you're having loads of snacks at evening, it's, bit of a waste of time in some ways. But that's your breakfast. It's 1 p.m. So we all have breakfast. It's just your first meal. But again, quick final point. The aim is long-term success, which means doing something that you're happy with. So I don't see it as a lever for change. I'm looking at the donuts. I'm looking at the alcohol. I'm looking at the judgment, the beating oneself up, the absence of consistency. I'm looking at the lack of motivation. I'm seeing other things that might well be the things that would be worth looking at. For context, porridge, scoop of protein, and 3 cups of coffee every single morning. And, if I was going to make any improvements, I think I'll probably put an extra cup of coffee in there. But that's me, you're you. And that's it for today. Speak to you soon.